Hello, magandang araw ulit. Ang atin pong pag-usapan ngayon sa araw na ito ay isa na namang topic sa Unpacking the Self, which is the second part of the Understanding the Self course, and we will talk about the digital self. So the title here is Digital Self, Self and Other in the Cyberspace. So digital self class is the self that we constructed online. So what kind of self are you constructing online? It involves our online behavior and our online voice. When we talk about online behavior, these are online interactions. Sa chat, whether in the comment sections with your friends, you call through Messenger or other social media platforms, and then our online voice is what we post. So yung ating post, comments, yung mga pictures natin online, or even how we interact with other people are our what we call digital self. Now, when it comes to digital self, it is our digital identity. So, ang tanong dito is, who are you online? When we deal with this particular question, we are dealing with the information posted by us or about us online. So, all the people learn about us based on what we search or what we post. Ang tawag po dito, class, yung digital self natin, yung mga informations about us online is digital footprint. Yung footprint po hindi siya nawawala. Whatever we posted online ay hindi na po natin mabubura. Even though mabubura natin siya, but it will remain there. Nandun na po siya sa system. Meron po tayong tatlong aspeto ng ating pagkatao. Unang-una, tayo pong lahat ay merong tinatawag na ideal self. Pag sinabi nating ideal self, these are characteristics that an individual would like to possess. Meaning to say, hindi pa natin siya nakamtan. Kaya nga, these are the things that we would like to possess. Then, meron din tayong tinatawag na actual self. Ito yung mga characteristics that an individual does actually possess. Ito yung meron ka ngayon. And then, meron din tayong tinatawag na ought self. These are the characteristics that an individual feels they should possess. Yung feeling nila, dapat meron ako dito. I feel it na dapat meron ako nito. Now, these aspects of selves ay pwede nating gamitin or pwede tayong magkaroon nito online. Di ba minsan sa Facebook, kung titingnan natin, I am sure meron pong mga tao na nagpo-post ng magagarang sasakyan, yung mga bahay na maganda, at minsan piniflex nila na ito yung future na magkaroon ako. Ito yung future na maging ako. Ito yung future na magiging ako, at yun po yung ideal self natin. In the online world, pwede rin tayong pwede din nating i-project yung totoong tayo ngayon. At pwede rin yung feeling natin meron tayo or ganun tayo, which is yung odd self. So why is it very important to talk about this? It is also to remind us that in the online world, we need to project the self o yung totoong tayo talaga or the real us. But of course, there are certain things that we need to consider as well. Kailangan din nating i-post kung ano lang dapat nating i-post at ano yung mga bagay na dapat i-keep natin na private. Sa digital self, meron na tayong tinatawag na extended self in the digital world. So meron na tayong extension. Number one is re-embodiment. Re-embodiment of what? Re-embodiment of your post. You re-embody something because everything is or can be seen online or can be posted online. In the online world, there is also what we call dematerialization. Dematerialization kasi everything is posted online na hindi na to kailangan na tangible. Hindi na siya tangible, everything is in data. Lahat ng mga pictures natin na nandun ay pwede nating mailagay kahit na through digital. So, meron din tayong sharing via online. Lahat ng pinopost natin doon, we can share, we can post whatever we want, and it can be seen by other people. Meron din tayong co-construction of self. Dito pumapasok yung tinatawag na avatars. Pag sinabi nating avatars, we create a particular persona via online. Kung ano yung gusto nating persona na or avatars na ating gawin or ating i-construct. Then, of course, it is distributed memory kasi nga everything will be posted online and can be seen online. So, it is distributed as well. You can pass it to other people. You can send it to the people whom you know or even hindi natin alam as long as we allow them to have access with whatever we posted. So, meron tayong extended self in the digital world. So babalikan natin yung tanong na bakit kaya mabilis nating tayong mag-share online kaysa mag-share via face-to-face? Or bakit kaya meron tayong lakas loob na mag-share online na hindi natin magawa sa face-to-face? Class dito na pumapasok yung online disinhibition na tinatawag. So ano bang ibig sabihin ng online disinhibition? It actually refers to the absence of social boundaries. Okay, the absence of social boundaries, restrictions, reservations, and inhibition when communicating online. So para sa'yo, when you're online, wala nang boundary doon. So that is why dahil walang boundary, you feel that there's no boundary and restrictions. That is why it is easy for us to share our beliefs or even our frustrations or whatever we have because of these no restrictions or boundaries. So again, it is what we call online disinhibition. Ang online disinhibition class ay nahati siya sa dalawang uri. Merong benign disinhibition, meron ding toxic disinhibition. Unahin natin yung benign disinhibition. Itong benign disinhibition is positive. Bakit? Because we describe or we share or we show a particular behavior in which people or we disclose more about ourselves on the internet than we would in real life. Okay, examples. We open up our problems via online. We share our deepest fears and sharing our worst experiences. Meaning to say, the online world became our outlet of whatever belief we have, experiences, or even our problems. So this inhibition and even advocacies, like your advocacy is about social justice, then that is benign disinhibition. It is positive. But there's also another kind of disinhibition which is negative, and it is toxic disinhibition. And toxic disinhibition describes undesirable behavior online. Examples: using rude languages, threatening others online, viewing porn sites, etc. And here, an individual does does it because of the idea of anonymity online. Kasi hindi naman ako kilala eh. So, 'di ba ang bilis mang-bash online pag may mga comment, ang bilis mag-comment ng hindi maganda kasi hindi ka naman kilala at malayo ka naman. Wala namang face-to-face interaction. Kasi kung may face-to-face interaction, I think maaaring hindi siya mag-react ng gano'n. So, ang daming toxic sa online, sa comment, lalo sa comment sections, and even sa post. Marami pong toxic. Ang problema lang sa toxic disinhibition ay nagbibigay din siya ng toxic na buhay. Ang nakakaranas nito yung mga celebrities eh. Yung mga influencers na ano sila ng sikat. Sila yung nababash. And that is, one of the examples of toxic disinhibition. So, I think we have to remember that when we share online, I think it is okay to have, to choose benign disinhibition over toxic disinhibition. Kasi ang dami na talagang toxic sa social media, right? Okay, am I right? And I think so. So, but when it comes to benign disinhibition, I think it is also important to to limit ourselves. What are we going to share or remain in private? So, we need also to have boundaries as well. Now, tapos na nating pag-usapan yung online disinhibition. And these are the factors that influence online disinhibition. Number one is anonymity. You don't know me, hindi ko naman kita kilala, kaya easy lang sa akin mag-share via online. Number two is invisibility. Hindi ka naman nakikita. Pwede ka naman mag-comment. Kung nag-comment ka, hindi ka naman nakikita. So, okay lang. Pwede kang mag-comment kung anong gusto mo. Asynchronicity means hindi siya real time. Hindi kayo face-to-face na nakikita or even hindi kayo nakikita online. Of course, naging synchronous lang siya kapag real time na nakikita kayo. Then, solipsistic introjection. It's all in my head, okay? It's all in my head lang naman, so I can share. Meron din tayong tinatawag na dissociative imagination. It's just a game. It's just online. It's just a comment. So, because it's just a comment, then I can comment even if it is hurtful. Now, sometimes it is hurtful, right? Ang hirap kayong mabash. At kung ikaw ang binabash, kahit online yon, ang sakit. Pero, madali lang sa maraming taong mang-bash or magsalita ng masasakit na salita or below the belt even online kasi it's just a game. It's not in reality. It's not in face-to-face encounter. Then minimization of status and authority. Your roles don't apply here. Okay? Sa face-to-face, pag gumawa ka ng hindi maganda, may rules na, hindi yan maganda. So, dito wala. It doesn't apply in the online world. Of course, may mga batas tayo, pero mostly, kahit may batas, wala. Walang pakundangan pa rin. So, I can do whatever I want. Wala namang pulis wala namang So, hindi siya mahirap. Ngayon, class, gaya ng sinabi ko kanina, it is very important to be responsible online. It is very important to be responsible when creating our self online. So, ang makakatulong po dito natin is yung tinatawag na self-presentation. Ang self-presentation po is how we attempt to present ourselves in the manner that we want via online. So, halimbawa sa Facebook, ang gusto kong i-portray ay mabait akong tao, right? Or maging inspirasyon ako para sa iba. So, yung post natin doon ay puro inspirational. Dito na po pumapasok yung tinatawag na impression management. Impression management is selectively self-presenting or editing messages to reveal socially desirable attitudes and dimensions of the self. Of course, we have to be more realistic about who we are. Dapat naman yung actual self natin is hindi siya malayo doon sa self or digital self natin. Pero I think what is more important here is when we do impression management, we just select what we have to, what we want to, or what we need to share via online or in self-presentation. I think it is important to present the things na kailangan lang nating i-present. Kasi merong mga bagay na dapat hindi na natin sinishare online. It is also what we call creation of or creating boundaries. So, napakahalaga itong impression management at self-presentation para sa atin. Okay? Kasi maraming nagpo-post online na wala silang boundaries. Ngayon, yan, pinag-usapan na rin natin yung boundaries, and I think it is important for us to set boundaries to our online self. So how to do it? The first thing is we have to stay to safer sites. There are many dangerous sites na hindi naman dapat nating puntahan. So we have to stick to safer sites. This is the first one, the first thing. And the second thing is we have to guard our passwords. Huwag natin ibigay sa kahit sino. Guarding your passwords can also protect yourselves. Baka gamitin sa masama yung ating accounts at ma-hack. And then number 3 is be choosy about your online friends. Of course, it is important. Lalong-lalo na ngayon, daming scammers and then daming crimes online. Then number 4 is remember that anything you put online or post on a site is there forever. Even if you try to delete it. Kahit i-delete natin siya, nandoon at nandoon na siya. So I think it is important for us to think before we click or before we post. And then don't be mean or embarrass other people online. I think it is important for us to be kind. And wag din tayong magpadala sa toxic online. So if you see a particular post na toxic siya, wag na tayong makisawsaw at mag-comment. And then we have to limit what we share online. As I said, there are things that we don't need to share, and there are things that we can share. So we need to be careful kasi I still believe, or we should believe in what we call privacy moment na hindi na natin kailangan i-share. In online, even you can see a family feud na dinala na nila online, and doon na sila nag-away sa comment sections. And I think siguro kailangan naman itong gawing private na lang, and we can, we can solve it privately, not in the social media. So again, it is important for us to set boundaries to our online self. And then, of course, in the social media, merong time talaga na toxic. So, ang gagawin natin siguro, class, lalong-lalo na sa inyong mga estudyante, kung na-stress na kayo sa social media, we can do digital detox na tinatawag. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng digital detox? Mag-unplug muna tayo. No internet today, okay? Maglaylo muna sa social media. And it is important because it can reduce stress. It can improve our sleeping habits. Kasi hindi na tayo nag-swipe, right? At wala tayong makitang toxic na nangyari sa social media. It will help maintain work-life balance or study-life balance. And it allows us to be positive, to have a positive perspective sa buhay. And then it can reduce tinatawag natin na FOMO, or fear of missing out. Kasi sa social media, dapat lagi kang updated, right? Lagi kang pasok sa trends. So, it can reduce FOMO na tinatawag. So again, if you are stressed, I think it is important for us to unplug our social media first. Mag-relax tayo, and we can, do the things that we love, yung hobbies natin, to be connected with ourselves again. And then, okay, we will end this particular lecture or topic with this reminder. So always remember, class, your self-worth is not dependent on social media or on your validation online. You are more than your online self. You are more than your digital self. Ang worth mo or ang halaga mo ay hindi nakadepende lang sa kung anong pinopost mo online. You are more than that. You are created in the image and likeness of God. Therefore, meron kang worth. Okay? So ano ba ang matutunan natin sa topic na ito? Na meron tayong digital self at dapat responsable tayo sa pagbuo ng ating digital self, kasi mahirap na magkaroon ng toxic disinhibitions online, and at the same time, we should be responsible for our online self. Na dapat ang self na pinoportray natin online is dapat maayos. And we can only do it when we set boundaries between our actual self and our online self. So thank you so much, class, and have a good day to all. For those watching right now, you may also follow my TikTok and subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you will be updated for the upcoming videos. So next video nito, ang atin pong tatalakayin is political self. Okay, thank you and have a good day to all.